What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. Happy Wednesday. We're back on track here, and today we're going to be talking about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, starring Johnny Depp, Benicio del Toro, Tobey Maguire, Christina Ricci, Gary Busey, Mark Harmon, Cameron Diaz, Michael Jeter, Troy Evans, and Vern Troyer. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, we're back on track here after being slightly derailed, and we're going to talk about a movie that is completely derailing: Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And our movie takes place in 1971 as Raul Duke and Dr. Gonzo speed across the Nevada desert. Duke, who is under the influence of mescaline, begins to complain about a swarm of giant bats as he inventories their drug stash. They pick up a hitchhiker and they begin to explain their mission to him. You see, Duke has been assigned by a magazine to cover the Mint 400 motorcycle race in Las Vegas. They bought excessive drugs for the trip and rented a red Chevrolet Impala convertible. Now, the hitchhiker flees on foot at the sight of their behavior. Trying to reach Las Vegas before the hitchhiker can go to the police, Gonzo gives Duke part of a sheet of sunshine acid and then informs him that there is little chance of making it before the drug kicks in. By the time they reach the Las Vegas Strip, Duke is in the full throes of his drug trip, and he barely makes it through the hotel check-in, hallucinating that the clerk is a moray eel and that the fellow bar patrons are lizards. The next day, Duke arrives at the race and he heads out with his photographer, Lacerda. Duke becomes irrational and believes that they are in the middle of a battlefield, so he fires Lacerda and returns to the hotel. After consuming more mescaline, as well as huffing diethyl ether, Duke and Gonzo arrive at the Bazooku Circus Casino, but they leave shortly afterwards as the chaotic atmosphere frightens Gonzo. Back in the hotel room, Duke leaves Gonzo unattended and tries his luck at Big Six. When Duke returns, he finds Gonzo high on LSD in the bathtub, clothed, after trashing the room. Now, Gonzo is attempting to pull the tape player into the bathtub with him as he wants to hear the music better. He pleads with Duke to throw the machine into the water when the song White Rabbit peaks. Duke agrees, but instead he throws a grapefruit at Gonzo's head before running outside and locking Gonzo in the bathroom. Duke attempts to type his reminiscence on hippie culture and flashes back to San Francisco, where a hippie licks spilled LSD off of his sleeve. The next morning, Duke awakens to an exorbitant room service bill and no sign of Gonzo, who is returned to Los Angeles while Duke slept. And Duke attempts to leave town. As he nears Baker, California, a patrolman stops him for speeding and advises him to sleep at the nearby rest stop. Instead, Duke heads to a payphone and he calls Gonzo, learning that he has a suite in his name at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas so that he can cover a district attorney's convention on narcotics. Duke checks into his suite only to be met by an LSD tripping Gonzo and a young girl named Lucy, who Gonzo explains has come to Las Vegas in order to meet Barbra Streisand, and that this is her very first LSD trip. Duke then convinces Gonzo to ditch Lucy in another hotel before her trip can wear off. Gonzo accompanies Duke to the convention, and the pair proceed to discreetly snort cocaine as the guest speaker delivers a comically out of touch speech about marijuana addicts before showing a brief film. Unable to take it anymore, Duke and Gonzo flee back to their room only to discover that Lucy has called. Their trip's mostly over, so Gonzo deals with Lucy over the phone, pretending that he is being savagely beaten by thugs, as Duke attempts to mellow out by trying some of Gonzo's stash of adrenochrome. However, the trip spirals out of control and Duke is reduced to an incoherent mess before he blacks out. After an unspecified amount of time passes, Duke wakes up to the once pristine suite in complete and utter ruin. After discovering his tape recorder, he attempts to remember what happened. As he listens, he has brief memories of the general mayhem that has taken place, including Gonzo threatening a waitress at a diner, himself convincing a distraught cleaning woman that they are police officers, investigating a drug ring, and attempting to buy an orangutan. Duke drops Gonzo off at the airport, driving right up to the airplane before returning to the hotel one last time in order to finish his article. Duke then speeds back to Los Angeles as our movie comes to its close. I said this as I was watching this movie. I said this to my girlfriend when she came out while I was watching this movie. I said it yesterday when I reviewed Donnie Brasco and I previewed this. And I'll say it now. I was way too sober to be watching this movie. Now, let me say, I don't do drugs, never done recreational drugs. I occasionally drink now. I'll maybe have one drink a week, maybe, usually not even that. But this, I feel like this was on a whole other level that I needed to be on to really get and understand and enjoy, and I just wasn't there. For me, watching this was a bunch of nonsense. But if you're on drugs, like our lead characters are, Duke and Gonzo, I'm sure everything made perfect sense to them. We see it as insanity, but we're also trying to look at it through outsider eyes. If we were on the same trip with them, it could have been a completely different ball game. I've heard about this movie so much. The cast is outstanding. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you've got Johnny Depp, obviously. You've got Benicio del Toro. Tobey Maguire is the hitchhiker. Christina Ricci is Lucy. Michael Jeter, for Christ's sakes. Mr. Noodle from Elmo's World and Sesame Street is the keynote speaker talking all the out of touch information about the marijuana studies during the convention. Gary Busey's the traffic cop that pulls Duke over. You've got Mark Harmon in here as a rival reporter. It's such a stacked cast list. And for me, maybe it's just because I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I just couldn't get roped into this. That's not to say I don't enjoy stoner movies, so to speak. I enjoy stoner movies. We talked about The Wash. I enjoy How High. There's a bunch of stoner movies. Friday, I did that whole trilogy. It's a bunch of stoner movies I like, but this is more than just weed. We're talking cocaine, acid, all kinds of drugs. And this is just a whole other level beyond what I understand. And I acknowledge that. I admit that. And so for those of you out there that get that type of stuff, you may feel like my rating for this is harsh, and I do apologize for that. But I have to go with my gut and my feeling, and only because of the cast, I'm going to give this film 2 out of 5 stars. What do you guys think of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere here, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, as we go back into the vaults for week 16 of Throwback Thursday. That's right. All of our regular features are going to be here. The ATW View, the Indie Force podcast, open mic night, no DQ&A review, as well as Talk Wrestling, which is the final part of the RVD interview. We've got Stat Boy Rants, Dads on Wrestling, Renegade of Wrestling, Double Down with Double A, no DQ&A. We got so much good stuff for you once again tomorrow, right here on Throwback Thursday. And then on Friday, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be time for one more episode of Renegades Reviews. As we wrap up this week of Johnny Depp films, we're going to take a look at The Ninth Gate, starring, of course, Johnny Depp, along with Lena Olin, Frank Langella, Emmanuel Seigner, James Russo, Jack Taylor, and Barbara Jefford. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Throwback Thursday, wrapping up this week of Johnny Depp reviews on Renegades Reviews, and so much more. We still have 2 full weeks of reviews lined up for Johnny Depp movies right here on the channel. You don't want to miss any of it. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, or anytime we go live, as is the case with Stat Boy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life. Fans of Johnny Depp, fans of Benicio del Toro, fans of Tobey Maguire, fans of Christina Ricci, fans of Gary Busey, fans of drug movies, fans of Las Vegas movies, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are, in fact, a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in today. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.